Hello, and welcome to Pinnacle Scholars. Our most asked question is whether or not the school is accredited. We want to answer that question so that you can know that this school is a very good place to be. Through its legislature, each state has an established education code. Generally speaking, the code provides rules for public schools, funded in part or in whole by state taxes. The Education Code is a way to be accountable to the legislatures for the monies received. The schools that live up to all that is in the code, even if they receive an A or a C on their report cards, are accredited for their efforts. That is, they get continued funding from the state. Most of the Education Code sets forth what states want their schools to have. Mainly, they want the same curriculum with the same learning standards, regardless of region or social status, so that a baseline of universality, which they call equality, can be consistent. States' teacher certification requirements and testing systems are instituted for the same purpose. All of this, plus how they handle the state's funding, goes into accrediting a school or assuring its sameness. However, private and parochial schools are exempted from the code pertaining to public schools, with the exception of providing good citizenship instruction to its students, which Pinnacle Scholars does through its U.S. government course. Homeschool instruction is also exempted. States designed their course standards to be taught in the classroom. With the rising need for online classes, they have tried to adapt these classroom standards to various online versions of their curriculum. But here a huge difference exists. Pinnacle Scholars designs its classes to achieve more learning than states can achieve because our teachers have so much experience both in the classroom and in the business world. Their standards for learning and achievement exceed those of the states. Pinnacle Scholars has never tried to adapt its online classes to meet a classroom standard, but from the outset has designed its classes to use available online tools in making sure that students achieve a thorough, well-rounded exposure to current knowledge in fields that will help them when they leave high school for the work world or for the university. We know that the state's universality, which they have named equality, is very different from what we know as quality of learning. States accredit schools too based on hiring teachers who have graduated from a college with certification in a particular subject matter or grouping of subject levels. This is to ensure that teachers have the same training within a state system when they start their careers. This part of accreditation should never be confused with classroom or professional experience. Highly qualified is really only another baseline to guarantee that a teacher has graduated with courses to orient them to the classroom situations without any experience. While we are addressing teachers' requirements, an extreme difference exists between state-accredited schools and Pinnacle Scholars. All of our teachers have university degrees in their fields, at least 17 years of teaching experience, and most have advanced degrees. Nearly all began their careers having graduated with a state's baseline certification for instruction in a classroom, and nearly all teachers have that coveted professional experience outside the classroom in the field they teach. Teachers for Pinnacle Scholars far exceed the state's requirement for the label highly qualified. As a final word, Pinnacle Scholars doesn't seek a state's accreditation because we exceed their baseline qualifications. Our courses have been specifically crafted by master teachers and professionals for student adeptness. They contain current, distinctive, and robust material. We invite you to join us in your education.